playing like attack champions in mid and top lane, melee attack champions, and Sejuani just synergizes so well with that. Yone would be a big pick for both of them, but it does also pair extremely well with the Sejuani, so it's at least a little bit disincentivized.
And there's the Zhao. It wasn't banned away, so Contractz happy to lock it in. Now we'll see what 100 Thieves will want to go. I imagine the blind pick Riven, as hype as it would be, not going to be the case here, as probably something like a jungle plus, maybe even like an AD carry locked in, as we let that go to the second phase of picks last time around. Or maybe a blind pick Renekton. There it is.
Yeah, weirdly enough, it's actually Sniper's first Renekton of the split, but very good Renekton player historically. It fits into the type of archetype that he loves to play. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a Gnar at some point by Fudge. He might wait longer for his pick, though, because there's a lot of potential things he could pick up against the Renekton. Shungle.
Shungle could work, but Nidalee! A classic combo. Renekton, Nidalee locked in. Renekton stuns you up. Nidalee lands that spear. A lot of damage all up front.
Well, we had the Pantheon Taliyah classic combo last game for Shopify. This game, we get the Renekton Nidalee classic combo. Back when this worked, and we'll get into this a bit in the game too, it was because turrets didn't one-shot you when you dove. So Renekton would stack a wave. Once the Nidalee had full cleared around 315, he'd make his way up by 330. That's when the wave would crash. You'd stun him out of the turret, you'd land a spear, you'd win. And if the other jungler was there, you'd fight the jungler before he got to the turret. And it was just this inevitable annoyance that you had to play against. Now I don't think the dive is nearly as threatening, so I think the combo is a lot less potent. But we'll see what 100 Thieves' take is on it.
Foxes eat goats. Is that true? That was a statement on that sign. I don't know if that's true, citizen in the audience.
I mean,
you're saying they eat what? Kids? What are you saying to me right now? I'm confused. I'm concerned. I'm going to avoid that conversation. But let's see what they pair with the Nidalee plus Renekton. Looks like Yone coming up.
My mind is stuck on foxes eating goats.
I can't get off it either. I was hoping you would save me.
The babies, the young goats.
The baby. Oh,
yeah, that's what she's saying.
Okay,
Before
a
they can
kid
defend
is
themselves.
a child goat, isn't it?
The goat is a baby
Okay,
sheep.
I caught up.
Yeah.
Thank you, audience member. Takes me a while.
I was going to say everyone can eat goats if it's prepared properly, but that's a different... That's a different topic. And they do get the Yone, so they're doing double physical damage with the Nidalee. It's not a bunch of setup, but it still fits double physical damage, a little bit of mixed damage with Yone, and full AP from the jungle. All
right, and you'd already highlighted it before. It's something that 100 Thieves plays a lot of. Quid loves this champion, so makes a lot of sense. But yet again, we have AD carry and support still on the table for both these teams, so expect a lot of ban focus down there. It's the Poppy here, which is very annoying for all three of these champions to play against, so happy that Golden Glue spotted that one out. 100 Thieves banning it away, but maybe less focus on hard engage supports like we saw in game number 1, because when I see things like Renekton, Yone, I know it's not like immediate primary engage, but it gives you options for flanks to actually find those and opens up that counter pick support for Eyla for more defensive options now.
Yeah, not surprised if FBI takes the AD and they wait for Eyla to have the counter pick support. I think in this game, at least, Shopify has taken better scaling than they did in game 1. I do like this for them. I think in game 1, when 100 Thieves locked in that Victor, they were just kind of betting that Shopify wouldn't be able to accelerate the game. Now they don't necessarily have to if they outscale, because the Renekton Nidalee will fall off so aggressively.
And I want to point out something here. The cosplayers are swapping sides. Thank you, cosplayers. Ahri's on the other team. Yone's on this side. Round of applause from the audience.
Yeah,
how convenient is that? Are they going to pick the skins?
I mean, it makes sense because they're behind the desks. 100 Thieves was staring at Yone.
Yep.
So it's just like, well, this is clearly a Yone angle. Palafox is
they're getting in their head. That's what you're saying.
If they would have swapped, we'd actually be seeing Palafox on the Yone because of the visual eye line.
I saw some incredible Ahri cosplayers in the audience as well, so maybe we can get like a big photo of everybody together at some point. Celebrate Palafox on the pick here, but Alistar was not banned this time around. It was Lucian instead, and Ziggs banned out by Shopify Rebellion. So if I'm Eyla, I'm seeing that engaged champion and actually feeling pretty good about it. There's not many on the table anymore with Poppy, Rel, Nautilus, Leona all gone.
Yeah, I mean, Eyla's 0-1 on Alistar this split, but it's historically one of his favorite champions of all time. Back when he played in Australia, he won League MVP with Alistar as one of his most played champions, so he's always had a comfort spot for that pick, willing to blind it.
But Seos does love that Rakan still. Played 2 games of it, I believe, so far this split, as this will be just another one. He loves anything that lets him link up with Contractz. Oh!
the Smolder angle. They said, maybe we don't have enough scaling. Time to play Smolder Alistar. That is just a turd in the bot lane for the first 20 minutes of the game. Smolder Alistar? How are they going to lane with this?
Turd in the bot lane, that's a new one right there. And you know, if you were getting bored of us talking about the Victor scaling and waiting for that to come online, get ready again.
It's interesting. It's interesting the way that 100 Thieves has crafted these last two team compositions. They have parts of the team comp that want to play really high pressure, really strong early, and then they have like this one character that's just going to scale really well if the game ends up going late. So I understand it. They're thinking probably at the last second here, man, we don't have that much scaling. Smolder Alistar can work. It's just going to be about surviving that early laning phase.
Well, it's appropriate. They got the bull and they got the Smolder. There we go. I didn't say it. 100 Thieves now.
Oh? That went right over my head.
Nah, I'm sure somebody in Twitch chat got it. I'll tell you about it when you've grown up. Good. 100 Thieves versus Shopify Rebellion, getting ready for game number 2 as the coaches give a little fist bump on stage, getting ready. Shopify Rebellion looking to reverse sweep this series to keep their upper bracket dreams alive. Non-subscribers, we'll see you in 30 seconds. Everybody else sticking around. A reminder that 100 Thieves, if they are able to close this series out, they're into that upper bracket in the playoffs, which is a much better position to be in. You have an extra life, essentially, helping you give that opportunity to go all the way to the finals, represent the North at MSI.
Looking forward to this one. 100 Thieves trying to move into the playoffs on a positive note. A lot of jostling early on to try and get information on the early jungle pathing. Kind of the same as last game, but River doesn't get fully engaged on yet, and a very deep ward gets placed by Shopify here by sending a bunch of people. But when you send that many people, you kind of leave the back door open. FBI gets exactly the same ward on the other side.
And Sniper also gets in because everybody grouped up to go through the river on the bottom side near mid. Sniper actually goes through near the top lane river. So double deep wards placed.
Last game, we saw a pretty slow start, but I want to focus in on what Shopify needs to do to win. And this means focusing in on Palafox. Because I feel like with how close this team has been to winning, if Palafox performs better, they're going to be a lot better. We only have 8 mid laners in the league. So kill participation, damage percentage, kill plus assists, and a bunch of other stats. He is dead last amongst all mid laners in the LTA. But when he has his good games, he is still quite good. And we know he's a former LCS champion. So I feel like with the way the rest of the team is performing, if Palafox steps up to his previous level, that's what is needed for them to get over the edge.
And you know what, Jatt? I'm not a big reading guy. All those numbers on screen, I don't like them. I want to hear what the audience thinks. We saw people with the Palafox sign. We're still cheering them on? That's what I pay attention to, Jatt. The real heart and soul. The hope.
The hope.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what Shopify pays attention to, too. Like, Palafox had a pretty bad year last year at the end of NRG, but they kept him together with Contractz. They brought Demonte in, who he had worked with on NRG back when they won the title. Like, they know this guy has potential and has shown it in the past. He just needs to show it on stage this year.
And, I mean, like you said, highlighting him, especially for this comp in particular, really one of the champions that can make action happen, as we just saw some action early bot side. Bvoy and Seos get the early push, as you would call it. We're gonna dub this one maybe the toilet bowl bot lane, level 1, maybe one of the worst bot lane combos. Alistar doesn't do much. Smolder doesn't do much.
I mean, at least they're not getting punished immediately. Bvoy with the Conqueror Xayah.
Did we just plug our own Twitter account on
I think we did. He did tie the record, though.
You know, okay. Fair
last
enough.
game. He can now the next
Austin.
Baron steal, he will break the record.
Yeah, true. Could happen this game. Absolutely could. There's Contractz on the Xin Zhao. One of those junglers that we had highlighted this on the patch change, Jatt, that with, you know, the Grub spawning at 8 minutes now, it gives more windows for junglers to make action happen early. If Contractz were to choose to make action happen early, where would you expect it to be based on the lane setups, the champions drafted, and the current situation?
I mean, here's the problem is just with all the early vision that these guys have been able to get, it's stopping the early jungle from happening. Like, no one has had a successful level 1 in the sense that they created an information disadvantage. And in this sense, you just path away from the Nidalee Renekton because you're hoping that Sion can fend for himself. You don't want to take a top lane 2v2. So then you know that Zin's going to be in the bottom lane. So he has to look either mid or bot lane. But there's just not another ward there at the moment because they know if he's going to be bot river, Quid's the one who needs the ward, and his bot lane is hiding under the turret.
And now I'm looking at River here on the top side. Okay, he's actually going to go for a reset. I saw the wave shoved in from Sniper, thought maybe we see a dive, but still a little early for that one. Not even 4 minutes on the timer here. Ooh, Quid taking a charm to the face. Palafox trying to dodge away from the Qs, and Quid actually wins out on that trade. So now, Palafox pretty low here. Sayos going in onto Eyla as well. We're just peppering each other with damage. Even topside doesn't want to be left out of it. No immediate threat of kills from any of these lanes, though.
Definitely not, and at least the Sion is scaling on their side, and River walks directly over that ward, but he has a bunch of free time there. You can see he's back on the map, his Grump not spawning yet, so that's a very quick look before going back to farming it up. And Sniper!
I actually might be able to find a kill. No, the dice does not get the damage onto Fudge, who just hits level 5. He's going to look for a reset, probably TP back to this top lane. And Contractz is here, hovering nearby, going for his second clear of camps. So Sniper, does he want to push up for an aggressive...
I mean, likely just push, reset, maybe walk back, get a teleport advantage. As Quid...
Oh, flash from Quid. Flash response from Palafox. Quid is making Palafox's life miserable.
Well, now we know where the junglers are going to be looking, because both flashes have been burned mid lane. So Quid's trying to make this game a little bit spicy. Needs to crash this wave quickly, is going to get the cover from the Nidalee to be able to push this all the way in, and then he's going to be able to reset to safety in this lane. I did want to talk a little bit about Fudge, though, because we looked at Palafox earlier, and we've been having these conversations about Fudge early in the split, but I'd say last week he did awesome.
Yes.
He was dominating. 4 solo kills in just 1 week. Jace, Rumble, Gnar, more of the carry type champions.
Versus Whippo.
And he nearly won them that series against FlyQuest, but now he's a little bit switched here where he has to survive the early lane against the Renekton. Did actually do that as they swap up against him. And I think this is pretty happy for Fudge to be in this lane against a Smolder, as Sion can't really get pushed in.
I'll say it feels fine for Fudge because he can't get pushed in, but also feels fine for the Smolder because you can just free stack onto the Sion. There's not much he can do to really threaten you. So I think if you're FBI, you're looking to scale. Not the worst state to be in either. But Contractz is making action happen at the objectives. He's on the Dragon, clearing this one out. We'll sell 2 more minutes before the first spawn of Grub, so Contractz should be level 6 for that fight.
Absolutely.
And River actually approaching. Doesn't miss, or doesn't hit the spear, rather. So no chance of a steal. I say with bated breath as he's still hanging around.
What are you doing, River? River has no camps available, so it was just spectating at that moment, trying to get the Scuttle Crab with Yone giving him a bit of a shadow, but they just, with the way that Sniper was swapping down, River is going to get pushed out of the Scuttle Crab.
And now he's going to maybe have to flash over the wall. Yeah, Sniper popping the Dominus. And yeah, Contractz has no way out other than flash. He just has to use it. Sayos, use the Battle Dance. Or Grand Entrance, rather. As now Sniper flashes forward. There's no more defensive abilities on Contractz. First blood. Crocodile hunting in the jungle.
That's crazy that worked. Look at where Sniper started his ultimate, basically in his own tribe rush, and then just walks at Contractz for like 20 seconds and take him down. That's such a brute force play, but it's so effective.
Well, it's the fact that Contractz had no way out of the pit other than to flash, so easy flash stun from Sniper, and great from Thieves to commit to that play, getting themselves more gold into the Renekton's pocket, who had not been able to get that matchup into Fudge. Now Fudge is heading towards that bot side, so Sniper will be matched up against him. But the one thing to note is Sniper won't have flash for the Grub fight. Spawning here in 30 seconds. Dominus should be up shortly after that, but the flash is a big tool for Sniper to actually try and get onto the backline, threaten some of the damage dealers.
Yeah, watch this one more time. I mean, we're going to start a bit early here as Contractz gets the Drake uncontested. Hopefully we can speed it up a little bit as he's approaching. And River's just thinking, like, we have Renekton 6 coming down bot. We can probably make something happen. And then as soon as River, the fact that River pushed him into the pit and could force the flash means Sniper's then confident just walking him down. The nice thing about Renekton Ultimate is it's just going to build your rage. So even if you're not doing immediate damage, you're going to have a more effective first hit when you actually get to him. So still gets value out of that ultimate because it built his rage for him. And they managed to get first blood on a Contractz.
Ooh, and Contractz feeling that one as well. We get to see the coach's reaction too. Tough situation to be in. Love that. As Contractz now at the Grubs. It looks like the first one was secured by Shopify Rebellion. So River, despite being there. Yeah, so this is the thing about the later spawn. Contractz level 6 on the Zhao. River's on Nidalee. Not as impactful of an ultimate ability here. So Contractz can just kind of bully him off and take all 3 Void Grubs. Is now engaged from Sayos. Eyla's able to answer it, and FBI is again just stacking up, actually winning the trade against Sayos and Bvoy.
Really nice sidestep there by Eyla with the Glacial Augment. Alistar did burn his heal to keep them very healthy. The whole reason they got the grubs, though, was that Fudge was first to move in the river and Sniper had no teleport, so would have been a little bit dangerous for 100 Thieves to move in because Sion could have joined with ultimate. And I think overall, like, even though 100 Thieves has that early advantage, Fudge is going to be very okay in this bot lane now that he has the Bramble Vest against the Renekton. He's just a very beefy tank.
Yeah.
He's not going to get pushed around, but it's almost the rest of the team that's going to be getting pushed around.
Fudge is kind of the rock right now of Shopify Rebellion, as they're even getting invaded in their own jungle. Like, River and Quid are just walking up, forcing Contractz into an awkward position, who now decides to go back in. But here comes Eyla and Sniper. Full engage comes through from the Thieves, but Quid actually taunted up, does go down first. Contractz still alive, fighting his way through it. Ayla has to flash the wall, River back over the wall, but Samus immediately locking him down. River does get the kill. Bvoy fails the flash, another recall. Trying to style on River, but Palafox can be the hero still. Orb of Deception for the kill. Sniper claims Bvoy, a slaughter in the jungle. The Thieves walk out with a couple more kills.
I mean, Renekton loves fights like that, where he gets to sit in the middle of everyone with his ultimate running. It all starts because River wants to steal the red buff, and Shopify does not want this to happen. It is pretty much just a 4v4. So watching the start of this fight, Quid is the one who gets one shot, but like if that doesn't happen, the Renekton would absolutely dominate. He gets a 4-man Q off. Contractz lives very well. Then these side steps at the very end, and Eyla escaping with a sliver of health is what ends up turning it in 100 Thieves' favor by the end. Palafox with one charge, his ultimate can finish Eyla as Sniper just walks down Bvoy.
Yep. Awkward position to fight in these really tight corridors against things like the Xayah. As the Thieves laughing it off right there. Like, that was a crazy one. I'm doing that too, Grayson. I'm scratching my head a little bit off of that one. Interesting to note that FBI was not present for any of that, so not getting the stacks. It's really Sniper that's the benefactor of all the gold, of all the kills. 3, 0, and 1, 100% kill participation, and Black Cleaver completed.
Yeah, River playing really confidently as well. His career record on Nidalee is very good. This is one of the reasons I think they're willing to pick it this early as we're getting ready for this Drake. 15-3, which for a champion that we usually think comes on stage and does nothing, it's done enough to win 15 of the 18 times he's picked it.
Very impressive stuff there from River. And again, I was sweating on it, thinking of specifically the Grub fight. But I guess there's a lot of League of Legends to play after Grubs, as it turns out. So River's still feeling just fine right now as Palafox lands the charm. Buff. Quid taking some damage here. Uses the Mortal Steel to jump away, as well as the Fate Seal defensively.
So well done there by Palafox, utilizing his red buff to get a little bit of slow and poke down onto Quid, which enables him to land that charm and just completely pushes him out of the river. Like, Palafox is the reason that 100 Thieves hasn't been able to approach this Drake. Quid could maybe reset and teleport in, but it would still be pretty dangerous. I'm not surprised if Contractz just starts the Drake right now.
And this would be the feat of Monster Slain if Contractz is able to pick it up. Man, it still just doesn't roll off the tongue. We're going to have to...
Hard to contest. Sniper's walking all the way down, though. They're going to go for something.
On the Bvoy. He does have the Feather Storm. Recall, not going to land. Eyla gets out just fine. Now Sniper on the flank here. No more summoner spells or defensive tools on Bvoy, but Sayo's trying to play Savior. Taunting up onto the turret. Bvoy's alive! Locks him down, rooted up. Sniper, one more turret shot would have killed him, but he does get out. Now Palafox looking for the resets. He gets one. Bvoy picking up that kill. FBI has to flash away from Fudge, who's diving onto the turret. Shopify Rebellion. This is their fight. They pick up 2 and get the dragon.
Wow, that was so clutch by Seos. It looked at first glance, as we're going to see this again, that Eyla messed up his headbutt pulverize, but as he was headbutting, he got charmed by the Rakan, so they couldn't get the execute on that fight. 100 Thieves try to make something out of this when Quid was forced back to base, but it gets completely repelled. So, watching this again. They get the Xayah ult out early, which then makes Sniper think that he can just go straight for Bvoy. So watch Sniper's approach, dashes in, gets charmed initially, so that's the first charm. Ult is still running though, also charms Eyla. So they can't change anything onto Bvoy.
Oh my goodness, Seos, the hero of the play. Palafox is then able to join in, try and clean it up. Bvoy gets the first kill. And FBI even going down, and along with the Drake, like Contractz wasn't even there for this.
He's dancing with Yone on the side, so big pickup there for Shopify. 2 Drakes and equalizing the gold lead.
Solid stuff from Shopify Rebellion. Really the first punch that they've landed in this game. Still early on, so a lot of fighting yet to come, but that's a big one for Shopify Rebellion. Fudge now on the board with a kill. And importantly, Bvoy 2-1-2. I mean, we said at the top of the series, Jatt, he ranks himself low in scrims. Where would you think he would rank this performance so far?
I mean, Bvoy, he's died once. So I heard
it's
if,
like
if he dies once, it can't be higher than 6. So at the moment, it's like 5.5. But he's down in CS, so 4. That's what he'd rank himself.
Right.
I would rank him as like a 7 at this point, but he self 4.
Hey, he's got time to bring it back up. We'll see if Bvoy's able to do just that, as FBI is also still that ticking time bomb on 100 Thieves' side. The Smolder scaling is always going to be a threat in the late game, but he's only at 1 item right now. Still in a fairly comfortable position. The fact that he is ahead in CS is good for the Smolder, but...
Yeah, 120 stacks as of now.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit about if Quid can make anything happen in side lanes. Palafox has had that good game. We talked about him needing to step up for this team to succeed because a lot of the other players have been having big games. Also got to look at the Group B standings. If the season ended today, this would be the top 2. That clinches playoffs. And then 3rd and 4th place could be eliminated next week because they cross-play against 3rd and 4th from the other group.
Exactly. Everyone's going to play a series next week, but some of it's just for seeding in playoffs. Some of it is for your life this split. Shopify Rebellion definitely don't want their split to end early. A win here gives them a chance to avoid that elimination match.
Yeah, it's crazy that Shopify at 0-2, just the way this group has fallen out, isn't actually out of the top 2 yet.
No.
If they win and they get a little help tomorrow, it could still be beneficial to them. But getting ahead of ourselves, we've seen Shopify keep games close and lose them many times. So let's see if they can pull something off.
We saw that gold grab. We
game.
showed it earlier. Yeah, it's we've seen it happen a few times now. But even to say, like, keeping it close, they haven't gotten the gold lead over 100 Thieves. Yes, they had a really good play there, but now 100 Thieves making their own play, engaging here onto Contractz. The Smolder ultimate comes down as Fudge joins in, but Unstoppable Onslaught not going to land. Sniper now on the flank all alone here. Palafox waiting on the charm, does land it now. Chain CC, all the knockups, cannot move. Sniper goes down as now Eyla was trying to back up his team. Quid comes in, trying to turn it. Palafox could be in some trouble. Fate Sealed not used yet. He's charmed up and he's just going to go down too. Quid cannot even press the R button. Ayla's ultimate has expired. Disaster for the Thieves. Shopify Rebellion find 2.
I mean, that was just Shopify overpowering 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves really trying to brute force their way in, but they have a level 9 Smolder as a lot of their damage, and Quid is just not finding effective ways of doing damage within these team fights.
Yeah. I mean, it starts off with the pick attempt from the Thieves, but Contractz, it's hard to kill him that fast.
Yeah, I mean, they get poked down on a Contractz, but they don't get the ultimate up.
Yes.
So he's still going to be able to last a long time if they end up having a fight. Sniper gets kind of picked off, but thinks as a level 11 Renekton, he's going to be able to overpower them. He ends up being wrong, and then the fact that they just kind of keep piling in at the end of this fight makes the situation go from bad to worse. Contractz could fly back in because he would still have ultimate, not going to be a threat once he flies in.
Yeah.
It's a wipe for Shopify.
Shopify Rebellion just chain CC Quid, turned his glasses into contacts that hit him so hard. Whew, that was a rough one to watch, as it was basically back-to-back there. First it was Sniper with the chain CC, then it was Quid with the chain CC. Shopify Rebellion, they got that synergy right now, Jatt. They got that mojo back.
They do. The biggest thing that I see is Palafox at 2-0-4. Can he push the solo laners around from 100 Thieves? Can he win the 1v1 or even a 2v1 against a Yone in the side lane, or can he stop Sniper from pulling anything off?
Sniper's going for his own 1v1 right now. Fudge has flash and ultimate available, so Sniper popping the dominance will not threaten the kill. Only half of a health bar away.
I mean, a little strange there because a Drake fight you'd think would be where a level 12 Renekton would want to use his ultimate. Makes me think that 100 Thieves is going to be most likely conceding this next Drake, and Sniper's just going to try and get first turret down there in the top lane.
Quid now taking another 1v1
He's got to be careful.
Yeah, Soul Unbound used already. Still has the Fate Sealed and the Flash, so Palafox going to look for a little hunting here. But Quid realizes he is in danger. Max range charm almost lands. Quid able to sidestep it. It's now the Dragon started up by Shopify.
Yeah, they probably get this unless 100 Thieves wants to be really ambitious. Sniper gets the turret. If he teleports in, he wouldn't have his Renekton ultimate.
Interesting that FBI just threw out the ultimate immediately.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to poke them. They're trying to poke them and make this hard, so they want to get as much tempo out of this as possible. If 100 Thieves could also prevent their approach to mid lane and get 2 turrets out of this trade, it ends up being quite worth it.
And they're not going to go in time, but maybe they can take the fight after the fact here. Contractz locked down, but Eyla instead rooted up here. The Alistar just not tanky enough. Hitting Fudge back, trying to reposition with the rest of his team, but in goes Contractz. Fudge with the kill credit. Shopify Rebellion's tank is just bigger. As Bvoy is very low, Sniper on the flank, tries to jump in there, but yet again, Xayah's keeping his AD carry alive. As Sniper now trying to reposition with the rest of the team. Fudge goes into the Herald, gets one knock up, Charm lands as well. He's doing donuts in the river. Let's go! Fudge doing the drive-by here. Now he's gonna link back up with the rest of the team. He's out of there.
I mean, he's passed his driving exam there. That was expert. Everybody gets out. You know what? Sion distraction.
You know what we call that one in Minnesota? It's called whipping shitties right there, baby. He did a full donut in the river. Fudge bringing it in with style right now. As Quid's looking to chase down here. Shopify Rebellion, okay, it's Fudge alive. He's still fine. All right, end of the play.
That was crazy.
We can breathe.
That was crazy.
Ooh.
I mean, the fact that 100 Thieves went for that fight was absurd to me in the first place, with no ultimate on the Renekton and Shopify just having 5 people there the entire time. Then it looked like they almost made it work as River landed a few crazy spears at the back end of that fight, but the Xayah Rakan is really clicking for Bvoy Xayah this game. The Xayah is dodging the most crucial abilities, and the charms have weirdly not been engages, but have been like the perfect counter engages for Shopify to help heal.
One of Xayah's most played champions, and we're seeing why. He's so proficient on this Rakan and just buying space for the team, engaging or counter engaging for the Rakan, rather peeling for his AD carry. And right now, Shopify Rebellion do control the vision around the bottom river. There's really nothing to fight for immediately. Dragons spawning here in 3 minutes, but the Otacon is up, so I suppose maybe if they want to go for it, and actually they do on vision.
Yeah, this could be the turning point of the game, Kangas.
We've seen a lot of games thrown at Otacon, Jatt.
Sniper is ready to fly in. They know they're here.
Sniper has
getting shredded.
He has no flash, so he can look for the flank here, but he's going to be just walking in. Xayah's all alone right now. Otacon down to half health. Dicey is the name of the game here. Shopify Rebellion, I think they're just committing to it. They want to go for it, but instead they flash in. Contractz looking for the engage on the FBI. Sniper with a long flank, but yet again, taunted up by Xayah. Bvoy's alive. Palafox is not. Quid gets the kill. Sniper's limping away, trying to survive, but will be taken down eventually. Contractz gets that one, but Fudge is taking so much damage from FBI, just free firing. The Smolder is eventually doing it. Quid now in some trouble. Has to solo bounce back in, but Fudge gets it. With the decimating smash, goes into the zombie form. FBI with the kill. River over the wall now. Xayah and Bvoy are there. Yeah, he's got to get out of there. Fudge can just beat him down.
I mean, River wants to delay these recalls as long as possible. FBI's going to go bot lane and try and take this turret. And that's a big win for 100 Thieves. That was so risky by Shopify. Yeah. They end up not getting the smite. So you can see now the Flowers 27-6 for the adaptive force. Plus they'll have that buff for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so the objective goes over, kills go over. Let's take a look at that replay here, because this was Contractz just trying to get onto FBI immediately.
Yeah, they do not get the strong engage at the start, and Palafox misses his charm and has to run out the backside of the fight. With the steal, River gets a little bit of revenge for the 2 steals that happened against him last game. And then I would say on the back end of the fight, it is clutched out a little bit by Contractz and Fudge, making this fight last a very long time. And Quid going down on the back end with Fudge having a nice pre-charge on his Q before falling. But overall a disaster, because I think Shopify was in a very good spot.
Hey guys, don't ever touch the Otacon at the bot wave, push please. Okay, we're dragging in 2 minutes, okay?
I mean, that tells me that was a mixed call.
Guys.
That was a big-time mixed call. The bot wave wasn't pushed, which meant Sniper had an easy approach from the side, so they couldn't stop the way that 100 Thieves funneled into that. Trying to move on from that one, as Soul Point could be the next thing that can secure them the game.
That would be a big pickup for Shopify Rebellion. It's all about not getting too shaken by those plays when they go poorly. I like that Fudge, that was the call. Okay, next time, but refocus up what's coming up next immediately. Dragon in 2 minutes, now in 30 seconds. As Shopify Rebellion currently are controlling the river access. They have control over the Banana Brush with their control ward. But FBI is landing some poke here. The Smolder is doing damage.
He's at stacks. He's 233. So he's got the execute online now from his Smolder.
Ooh, big charm from Palafox. Will chunk out Sniper to start off the fight. Fudge also looks like he got chunked down a little bit. Engaged from Eyla. Chain CC. They're just taking out Xayah. No defense this time. Bvoy's going to have to do it all on his own, and he just gets
Sniper.
heavily chugged. Has the ultimate available. Flank from Sniper. Bvoy's out of there. Sniper's down. Shopify Rebellion will equalize the kills. Top laner for support. 100 Thieves maybe looking to engage more onto Palafox. The charms used. FBI's just peppering Fudge with damage now, but 100 Thieves control the access point to the Dragon.
I think they'll be able to secure this because of their clean engage onto Rakan at the very start. Yep, they stopped the soul point, and it could have been much worse. I mean, they got a clean one-shot off onto Sniper, which surprised me. Sniper was in the middle of all of them. Sterix popped, could never get his Q off. Otherwise, I think he actually turns that into a bigger disaster, but still a very large win for 100 Thieves.
Still so much CC to get through that Shopify Rebellion can layer on top of it. But at the end of the day, like you said, win. They get the Dragon. They even get kills onto FBI. The turret taken bot side. FBI's at 2 items plus stacks. As let's see what he's even able to purchase here with this back. Picks up the Zeal, and that's it. But on his way to that 3rd item, really, really comfortable position for a Smolder to be in.
Yeah, walking towards that rapid-fire cannon could allow him to play at a nice poke range now that he has that execute. But, man, this is... You can feel the scar tissue from Shopify's previous losses seeping through in these games. They just do not have a cohesive idea of how to close out the games. It started with the Otacon, then even though they had the soul point, they didn't have clean setup. Seos was caught away from the rest of his team. And now it's Baron is probably the next thing that is on the docket, mostly just to make sure nobody sneaks it, because I think the biggest priority for 100 Thieves is to continue scaling and get the next Drake in 4 minutes, but they'll take a pick if it comes to them.
Right now, Sias is trying to control this Banana Brush around the Baron buff. Very important for this Baron setup right now, but 100 Thieves will actually walk up and just take it themselves. Hard to push Eyla out of that situation, and Sniper still has that teleport flank, but Fudge is actually hovering around the mid lane. Might look for an ultimate in if they just want to start the fight outright.
100 Thieves was in a dangerous spot there. They had both solo laners showing on waves, but the fact that they got away with it means now there's no tempo for Shopify. They have to either give up a full lane of minions or just, they're going to give up a full wave on the top lane. Bot lane is getting caught by Fudge, but that means they lose mid push, maybe even lose mid turret. That was a really nice macro play by 100 Thieves, not getting engaged on in the mid lane there.
Yeah, and now they're actually going to look for this mid turret here. FBI, one auto should take it down. It's actually Quid that will go for it as Sniper holding the flank from Fudge and Contractz. Slices away. Objective taken. 100 Thieves now with a 1.8 thousand gold lead, and again a Smolder that just continues to stack, continues to get more gold in his pocket. The Dragon is becoming inevitable at this point. I mean, Fudge has had a great game. Palafox has had a great game. Bvoy, Seos, like, they've played these fights so well to this point, except for that one that Seos got picked. But at a certain point, like, it just becomes too much. The Smolder will just take over.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's about side lanes, which is a weird thing to say with 100 Thieves, because they've normally just had to brute force their way back into games. But in this game, they are out farming in all solo lanes, despite being weaker for a lot of the game.
Yeah.
Which just tells me that they have a better sense of when they are in danger or not. And Shopify hasn't been able to capitalize in those moments that we saw there where, like, River was right in that bush that Ayla's in right now. Yone and Renekton were both on waves. Shopify has to fight that right away.
Yeah.
If they don't, they lose a bunch of gold.
No hesitation right here. Looking at Quid, looking like a donkey in a derby. No business being there. Shopify Rebellion pounce and will take him down, but he buys a lot of time. That's a teleport coming in from Sniper. Rest of Shopify gonna turn on to the Renekton. Ayla's there to try and keep him alive. FBI, the Dragon, is pumping damage. As now River's the focus here. Seos goes in, but Bvoy just can't get the damage down. Sniper lives. FBI's got space to play with. Charm lands. Ayla's out of there. Bvoy can turn this. Shopify Rebellion pushing River back, pushing FBI back, and 100 Thieves cannot continue to fight.
That is a win by picking Quid in the side lane. 100 Thieves tries to save it by flying in later. At the end of the day, it is the 2-for-1. Watching this one more time, I mean, very aggressive play by Quid. Overly aggressive play. He had the Smolder Alistar in the river, but he was probably about 5 seconds early on making that play before it would be legal.
Yeah.
So it ends up being very illegal play. Sniper, quite tanky, level 15, can withstand a lot of the early engage, and you see the damage from the Smolder. But as the fight continues, Sion frontline versus a Renekton or Alistar frontline, much different. It's not like Bvoy hasn't been farming and he's able to shred Eyla down for the 2-kill-to-1 victory.
Yeah, Fudge is quite large right now, 4-1-4 on the Sion. close to a third item completed here, and just the natural health stacking between the Grass and the Undying. Sion passive, he's big.
I mean, flash check, though, another big win for that fight is Shopify didn't have to burn any flashes, so it's much harder for 100 Thieves to get an engage here with this soul point coming up. Renekton flash down, Yone flash down. It's hard to play here for 100 Thieves.
Right now, they do control the river. They have vision placed down. They got the Scuttle Crab as well. So Shopify Rebellion a little behind on the mid lane push, but they have bot lane shoved in, so they're approaching from that side of the river. And 100 Thieves are not just going to walk in blind. They're playing it safe, sticking together.
Sniper's one wave away from 16. He'd love to get that, but he has no ability to do it with the Drake being started right now.
This is Soul Point, or rather, yes, Soul Point currently for Shopify Rebellion. This would be Soul if they could pick it up here. As big damage, Charm lands in onto Eyla.
Burns his ult.
Blank in from Sniper. He's looking at Contractz. He's looking at Bvoy. Bvoy has to use the ultimate very early, and now he's knocked up. Eyla gets in onto the backline, but he's taken out immediately. And yet again, the front line for the Rebels holds, but Quid with the Fate Seal takes down two. FBI on a rampage. Sniper buys a lot of time, but Palafox and Fudge will take him out. Not in time to get the Dragon. 100 Thieves deny again.
Oh, Kangas, this game is so close. They want to chase down Fudge.
I think he's fine. He's got Flash available, plus the Charm, but he's actually locked out. Can he take out River? Almost gets him. Stasis used. FBI getting another one. The burn? Oh, Fudge lives.
Doesn't want to expend his flash for a kill because he knows it's going to be valuable in an upcoming fight. I think that's actually a very smart move by FBI to not chase that kill. What a sequence there. 100 Thieves narrowly avoid the Ocean Soul going over again. Get the turret at the back end as well. See, that's just as valuable as the kill.
These Dragon fights are so close here, Jatt. It could go either way, but the last two have gone in favor of the Thieves.
I mean, the fights are just so chaotic, so you need to just be playing so many of these off instinct. Again, no flash on the Renekton, so he has to just kind of walk at them, take a bunch of damage. Eyla flies in, but no one on 100 Thieves. FBI and River are stuck behind the pit. The fact that here, if Shopify ignore Sniper and move together toward the pit, they actually get the soul. But two of them are trying to kill Sniper. Two of them are trying to make sure the Drake doesn't get bursted down. 100 Thieves capitalize, and now we got another
back
fight.
Back to live. We have the Baron fight. River can get over the wall with the blast cone. Sniper already pops the Dominus. Ayla gets charmed up, has the Unbreakable Will still, and now uses it onto Seos, getting chunked out heavily. Seos has to try and go back in, but he's getting burnt out. Bvoy in trouble as well. Shopify Rebellion burning! The Smolder passive not going to get any kills there, but Shopify Rebellion have to run all the way back to base. 100 Thieves, they could start up the Baron.
They probably have enough damage for this as long as Quid is full hitting it and using his spells. Man, Smolder's becoming a problem.
Yeah.
And this is what we talked about during the draft, though. These last two games, 100 Thieves has had that insurance policy. In game one, it's the Victor. In game two, it's the Smolder, where it's going to look a little rough early, but if the game gets messy and long enough, we're going to have this thing in our back pocket.
Yeah.
And the thing this game is that 300 CS, level 16, 361 stack Smolder.
It's like that test at the end of the semester that you know is coming, you're dreading it, but you got to take it regardless. I think that we saw Shopify Rebellion playing fast early to try and fight around those windows that FBI wasn't super sacked, wasn't super strong, but they weren't winning all those fights. They got the early Dragons, but then they kind of hit this wall eventually. And now that wall's turned into a cliff. 100 Thieves are coming right back into this game with a 3,500 gold lead now.
Yep.
They've been able to maintain that for most of the game.
Sniper has his GA as well, so he might try and suicide a bit in the next fight to just buy space, knowing that FBI is actually cutting through the Sion.
Oh, picking Rivers, huge! Shut down over to Contractz, and they might even look for more. Eyla has to use a Pulverize, trying to keep himself alive. Uses the ultimate. Headbutt to safety. Does get out as Quid now trying to draw battle lines with FBI. Sniper even teleports in, but Shopify Rebellion, they found one pick. And 100 Thieves are still looking to fight. They have Baron Empowered Wave plus FBI. On the Smolder, full stacked, 3.5 items here. 100 Thieves, they feel like they don't even need that Nidalee.
They are very respectful of this Smolder and the Renekton TPing in behind them. It is a flash barrier Smolder that is very fast with the upgraded Boots of Swiftness, but even so, they're going to try again because it's still 4v5.
Yeah, Fudge gets interrupted by Eyla right there, and there's just no damage to follow up on his engage onto the Alistar of all champions. So Shopify Rebellion, they thought maybe they could find something. Not going to get it in time, and River's going to spawn in 4 seconds. So end of the day, they just deny a little bit of that Red Bull Baron buff time.
Yeah, I mean, with no Rakan ult, Shopify didn't have a clean way of engaging. So just a little bit strange when you see that the jungler gets a bounty shutdown and then 4v5, the 4 just easily push in the 5. Doesn't
Welcome
bode
to
well.
Smolder.
That
Welcome
doesn't
to
bode well
Smolder,
for
everybody.
Shopify.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. And again, it's not for lack of trying from Shopify Rebellion. They've played a decent game. 4-1-6 on Fudge on the Sion, 4-1-10 on Palafox, close to 100% kill participation. Even Bvoy as well. So if you just looked at KDAs, it's going all right. Unfortunately, that's not how you win games of League of Legends. You win games of League of Legends by taking out the big crystal in the enemy's base, and it looks like FBI is going to be the reason 100 Thieves could do that here.
Another dragon fight, another chance. The Bloodthirster being completed by FBI makes him very difficult to take down.
Palafox, got to be careful here. Just some damage in onto Eyla. Using your Spirit Rush to get away from an Alistar engage before the dragon spawns would be rough. So,
big heal there by Nidalee onto the Alistar. Looked like Eyla had been poked out of the fight. Then one heal takes him back towards, half the way back of his health.
AP scaling, baby.
Yeah, Shopify's just not in a good spot here. Like, it's so hard for them to make an approach. Sniper and River are holding the flank.
This is exactly how the last fight set up, but this time Shopify are wise to it. They see Sniper on the flanks. They're going to push him away immediately. Dragon is started by Quid right now, and Seos is looking for his own flank, but he is spotted as well.
I mean, I don't love that 100 Thieves is starting it. They can't let it get into smite range, so they're probably going to hold it around like 2,000 or 3,000 before hoping for a fight, and then burst it down, and Shopify gives it up. Yeah,
Shopify Rebellion not feeling like that was their moment. They will just back off and allow 100 Thieves to get to their own soul point. 6 dragons taken. We're going the distance here.
And 100 Thieves wins every war of attrition. They have 3 Ocean Drakes. If they get the soul, it's going to be ludicrous. But the Nidalee heals plus the 2 Ocean Drakes was just making it so that any poke just got completely erased. So Shopify would have had to completely commit to a fight. They never saw a clean angle because either the Alistar would block it or it would leave them vulnerable to a Renekton or Yone flank. So 100 Thieves with patience again was able to kind of win that extended duel at the Drake Pit.
And at this point, FBI with 4 items is a poke champ. If he hits you with one ability, you're going to be down to like 75% health. Basically getting hit by Ezreal Qs here. As observers are highlighting Sniper here. He's all alone in the top side. Important to note, Guardian Angel picked up from Sniper. Usually once you get that, you're deciding that the game will be over soon. River getting picked again! Shopify Rebellion making River's life misery right now. As now they look in onto FBI. Summoner spells are available. He uses both, but Bvoy straight on top of him. Bvoy, the hero, catches FBI in retreat and claims the dragon's life. Now Sniper's all alone. Fudge pushing him away. Now the rest of the team jumping in. Shopify Rebellion trying to lock down the front line. Sniper's out of there. The Crocodile will go down. GA wasted. And you have to imagine he's not getting out of here either. Tries one-ditch effort onto Bvoy. Taken out, though. Shopify Rebellion with a huge play.
I mean, massive that they were able to get River and FBI down. But it's a question of what does this actually give them? Because if you could just hope to die at the right time, this would be the time to die. Baron's not up, Drake's not up, the waves aren't necessarily pushed, so they lose one outer turret. The bigger thing, I think, is losing the GA on the Renekton and losing the flash barrier onto Smolder. But we're watching this one more time. It's the second time River just kind of wandered into a bush that had all of Shopify. So his awareness is not his normal level of awareness in this game. And then FBI just feels so strong, but with Bvoy walking up behind him, he just gets absolutely shredded by the 4-item Xayah, who also does a bunch of damage.
Yeah, and Eyla had already used the cooldowns of his Q and his W, so cannot keep Bvoy out of that. And then, like you said, the bigger thing, it's the summoner spells on FBI, and it's the GA here. Getting that off of Sniper's huge, as you can see, the duality of man, as it
really
is.
Yeah, it really is. The 15-3 River Nidalee record is in danger at the moment with the way he's playing, but maybe he turns it into 16-3.
He's doing his best Whipple impression
after this game if it ends up working.
Yeah. How hard can my team carry? As again, FBI is poised to do just that. Look at that damage there onto Bvoy, by the way. 1 spear, I believe, from River. Bvoy will have to heal that back up. FBI without summoner spells means that Shopify Rebellion actually do have a little window here to force a fight. If they can start up the Baron, I like them using that as the magnet to pull FBI in.
You see where Rakan is?
Oh. You know what? I'm happy
Rakan
you
is
just
looking
pointed
for
that
a
out.
flank here. He's on a control ward, so 100 Thieves doesn't know he's back there, and here's the fight.
And now Fudge going in for the start of it. Now, big fate sealed onto Contractz, taking a lot of damage. Snipers onto him, but now the flank from Seos. Palafox joining in as well. Damage onto the back line. Snipers out of there. Shopify Rebellion. The long con from Seos pays off as Contractz goes on a killing spree. FBI's out of there. Double kill to Bvoy, and the Rebels win the fight.
This might be the game. They're going to be able to kill River here as well. All 5 are alive. They got a wave in the mid lane. I think they're setting this to a game 3.
You have to imagine. Now, can they get the wave there in time? They got to do damage to the turret first. Now the wave arrives. 40 seconds on everybody. It's only Eyla left. This is a game for Shopify Rebellion, keeping themselves in the conversation here as they'll take a game off of 100 Thieves.
Bvoy 719, Palafox steps up. Eyla tries in vain to stop the push, but he will not be able to.
Just an Alistar lonely cow. He goes down. GG, Shopify Rebellion.
It was in doubt for a bit, actually. This game started strongly in the favor of Shopify. It swung back. It felt like it was just going to be another one of those Shopify games.
Yep.
But they find enough picks onto River that they can take him down. Sniper checking the damage. A lot of Smolder damage in this game.
A lot of Smolder damage.
It wasn't enough to get the win.
Yeah, what a battle from Shopify Rebellion. It felt inevitable that the Smolder would win it, but it was back-to-back picks on River. They just played these death brushes. Let the Nidalee walk into you in positions that Nidalee feels that they're safe. Not safe. Turning that game of League of Legends into a horror film. As, yeah, that was one for the history books right there. Now, let's head on over to LTA Lounge to break that one down.